Well, next on East Midlands today, the Leicester fast fashion firms who have moved production overseas and then set up their own retail brands. Last night, you may remember, we revealed how hundreds of local garment factories have closed since the start of the pandemic. Tonight, two surviving firms tell us why they don't believe there's any future for garment production in Leicester. They're blaming the fallout from a sweatshop scandal and the shift to online shopping. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
This factory used to make high fashion garments. We used to have a lot of workers working at one time.
Fashion is in Alkesh Kapadia's blood.
The factory has closed down since this Monday.
An industry now struggling for survival, but 5 years ago it was booming.
It was very lucrative. Fashion was my passion. My surname is Kapadia. Kapadia means fabric. Fabric means for 200 years we used to make fabrics. I'm really sad. My father up there will be really upset that I've stopped this business.
His factory was a community where they celebrated everything from religious festivals to birthdays. As Leicester became the fast fashion powerhouse for Britain's high street chains, a business model that thrived on economies of scale.
Online retailers killed the high street market, basically. The problem was the high streets were really big because there were 400, 500 stores. And every store used to keep at least 100 garments. But online retail doesn't need to have so many shops in there. They have only one platform. So they used to have thousands of styles with less quantity in them. The demand was more for cheaper goods. They just want to kill the market.
And look at this, just round the corner, a factory unit that's been empty for the last 5 years. 60 people used to work here, but during the pandemic, orders simply dried up.
We made 30,000 of these t-shirts for one of the retailers, and now they're cancelled because of pandemic.
Saeed says those cancelled orders have left him with around £1 million of stock that he simply can't sell.
We have no choice but to give it to charity.
The pandemic hit so hard because it exposed how Leicester's complex supply chain had been exploited by sweatshops.
We had some, everyone knows, sweatshop in Leicester. They did huge damage because 95% factories was good factory, but many retailers start avoiding Leicester production. Fast fashion, we move from here, so we're making all our garments in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Turkey and Morocco, because UK it's impossible to afford.
Alkesh has moved his garment production to overseas factories too.
Morocco, Turkey, because retailers are not happy with the prices. Some of the small retailers become really greedy and become really large, and that greed never stopped. It kept on growing and growing and growing.
As a retailer, if you are buying one t-shirts from Leicester, it will cost you £3. But same t-shirts, if you're buying from Bangladesh, India or Pakistan or China, that will cost you £1.
So does the garment industry have any future at all in Leicester?
I don't think so. I can't see any future.
Leicester will die eventually if you don't do anything now. In the sense, even if you do something now, it's very hard to save this industry at the moment.
This is how Saeed and Alkesh are fighting back by cutting out the middleman.
This is the brand that we created.
They both started their own online fashion brands based in Leicester.
I've invested money in my online retail business, which is really doing well, but it's not made in UK at all. So manufacturing is dead, but retail is doing well.
Now, successfully, we are in Europe. We're selling 180 stores.
That's the future.
That is the future, yes. You know styling, you know manufacturing, you know costing. Go to the public. Public will support you.
Saeed killed you there, ending that report. And you can read more about it actually on the BBC News website. Tomorrow, though, I'm going to be asking how Leicester can build a future for its garment industry.